Good evening, everyone. Hello, I think I'm audible to everyone. If I'm audible, please respond me back. Yes, okay. Right. So today we are going to start off with the new topic, that's thing with average. Now, average basically क्या होता है? Now, average is a very smaller topic, but it's an interesting topic. Not exactly interesting, इसका यूज काफी है. काफी क्वेश्चंस होते हैं जो एवरेज से रिलेटेड होते हैं, चाहे वो बेसिक कैलकुलेशन का क्वेश्चन हो, डेटा इंटरप्रिटेशन का क्वेश्चन हो, किसी भी टाइप का क्वेश्चन है दैट इज मोर ओवर रिलेटेड टू द एवरेज पार्ट इटसेल्फ, राइट? सो आइडली अगर हम लोग एवरेज को समझे, विल try to understand what is the average part here. We'll be dealing with the concepts and goals of our goal of the class today is where we will be talking about the concepts and techniques related to the averages, right? So now agar average ko samjhe, what is basically average? If we'll identify, average is nothing but we are trying to balance some of the thing. Whenever we balance the thing, that's nothing but an average part, right? So it's like a weighing machine, koi taraju hai, so when it's equal we say it's balanced. Upar niche hai, that means we are trying to balance the thing. So whenever we try to balance that thing, that's nothing but a format of average, which we have to understand, right? So now we'll talk about some of the important concepts related to average. So first we'll talk about average here, then it's nothing but the weighted mean, which is also related to the allegation part. ये तीन चीज हैं जो कोरिलेटेड है एक दूसरे से. अगर आपको एवरेज पता है तो दैट मीन्स आपको वेटेड मीन पता है, आपको वेटेड मीन पता है तो आपको एलिगेशन पता है. मतलब अगर आपका कोई भी क्वेश्चन है जो एवरेज से रिलेटेड है तो वो आप वेटेड मीन या फिर एलिगेशन से सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. कोई भी क्वेश्चन है जो एलिगेशन का क्वेश्चन है उसको आप नॉर्मली एवरेज से भी सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. सो नाउ लेट्स ट्राई टू वर्क ऑन द एवरेज पार्ट. एज वी हैव सीन, एवरेज इज नथिंग बट summation divided by the number of observations here, right? So I have a fixed formula. So average is always nothing but summation divided by the total number of terms, right? That is a fixed formula here for average. कोई भी फॉर्मेट हो, मेरा फॉर्मूला तो यही रहेगा, that's nothing but summation divided by the total number of terms. But average को डील करने के तरीके हम लोग समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. Suppose I have some numbers, कुछ numbers मैं आपको देता हूँ. The numbers are nothing but 200, then 250, 300, 350, 400, 450 and 550. Suppose I want to find out the average of the given values. अब normal process क्या है? We'll add up all the values. That's the first condition here. So let's add all the values here. So let's add the values here. Let's add the numbers which are ending with hundreds first. So 200, 300, 400. That means this summation is 900. Then 550, 450, the summation is 1000, and then again 250 and 350, that means summation is how much? Summation is nothing but 2500. So my summation is 2500 here. Now I'll divide by 7, so that will be my average here. That's nothing but 357.14 is my average, right? So ये तो हो गया नॉर्मल कंडीशन जब हम लोग फॉर्मूला यूज करते हैं. बट सपोज इफ आई एम नॉट यूजिंग द फॉर्मूला, अगर फॉर्मूला यूज नहीं कर रहे हैं, I need to balance the thing. अब क्या बैलेंस हो सकता है? सेम नंबर्स लिखते हैं, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450 and 550, right? So suppose ये numbers है यहाँ पे, right? So I want to balance the thing. एक काम करते हैं, एक को random number ले लेते हैं जो average हो. So normally average कहाँ होता है? Somewhere in the middle. So suppose I have taken 350 as an average. Now I'll compare the other values with 350. So let's try to compare. So if we'll compare 300, this is 50 lesser than 350, and this side it's nothing but 50 more than 350. मेरा job क्या है? Balance करना. That means अगर ये balance करें तो I can cancel out these two errors here. That's why if we'll take 300, 350 and 400, my average is number 350 itself. So बीच का जो value है वो average होगा. So we are balancing the things here. So 250, suppose I'll compare 250 with 350. This is but 100 lesser. 450 is nothing but 100 more. So ये cancel हो गया. 200 is nothing but 150 lesser. 550 is nothing but 200 more. If I'll try to cancel, so my value is how much? Plus 200 minus 150 is nothing but 50. So 50 is the error here, which I'll divide this in 7 equal parts, right? So 50 by 7, because number of terms are 7. So 50 by 7 is how much? It's saying but 7.14. Now what was my assumption? My assumption was 350 and my error is but 7.14. So total value kitna ho gaya? That's but 357.14 is my average, right? So that's the second method which you have to utilize when you are working on the average part. जब भी आप average use करते हैं, your job is to balance the thing. अगर आप balance कर पा रहे हैं मतलब आप average directly utilize कर रहे हैं. So ideally, if I'll identify what are the things required to work on the average part, my requirement is my assumed average here, which I'll write as old average here, plus the error part will give me the new value here, and old average plus the average of the error part will give me the new average here, right? So basically ये जो कंडीशन है जो आपको ध्यान में रखनी है, यहाँ पे हमने क्या किया, मुझे नया एवरेज चाहिए था. सो आई हैव अज्यूम्ड 350 एज एन ओल्ड एवरेज है, राइट? सो उसके हिसाब से मेरा एरर कितना हुआ? मेरा एरर हुआ ना तकरीबन 7.14. दैट्स व्हाई माय वैल्यू इज 357.14, राइट? सो दैट इज द मेथड व्हिच यू कैन यूटिलाइज व्हेन यू आर वर्किंग ऑन द एवरेज पार्ट, राइट? अब दूसरा जो कंडीशन है वो कंडीशन है वेटेड मीन का. अब वेटेड मीन को समझते हैं. वेटेड मीन क्या है? वेटेड मीन भी एवरेज ही है, बट इफ आई हैव टू ग्रुप्स ऑल्सो मोर देन टू ग्रुप्स अवेलेबल. सपोज मेरे पास दो ग्रुप्स हैं, ग्रुप 1 एंड ग्रुप 2. ग्रुप 1 हैज n people and group 2 has m people with the weights given as W1 and W2. So if I combine both the groups, I can definitely find out the overall average weight of the given group, right? तो अब इस केस में क्या होगा? मेरा फॉर्मूला क्या है? एवरेज इज ऑलवेज समेशन ऑफ द टर्म्स डिवाइड बाय द टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स, राइट? सो समेशन ऑफ द वेट्स क्या हो जाएगा इसमें? n इंटू W1 और यहाँ पे हो जाएगा m इंटू W2. सो ओवरऑल वेट इज नथिंग बट दिस पार्ट. सो माई एवरेज हियर, सपोज x is considered weighted mean, will be nothing but n into W1 plus m into W2 डिवाइड बाय n प्लस m, राइट? सो ये फॉर्मेट हो गया वेटेड मीन का. तो वेटेड मीन इज नथिंग बट द एवरेज इटसेल्फ, बट द कंडीशन हियर इज आई हैव मोर ग्रुप्स अवेलेबल. एक सिंगल ग्रुप के बदले काफी ग्रुप्स हैं, सो आई कैन फाइंड आउट द ओवरऑल एवरेज इन दिस केस ऑल्सो, राइट? हियर द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स विच यू नीड टू कीप इन माइंड इज द वैल्यू ऑफ x should always lie somewhere between n and m. जो मेरा ओवरऑल एवरेज होगा वो n और m के बीच में ही होगा. सॉरी, नॉट n and m. n and m तो नंबर ऑफ पीपल है. x इज नथिंग बट बिटवीन W1 एंड W2. ये इन दोनों के बीच में होगा, बिकॉज एवरेज वेट्स वी नीड टू फाइंड आउट द एवरेज वेट हियर. सो द इंडिविजुअल वेट्स आर W1 एंड W2. एवरेज वेट जो होगा वो इन दोनों के बीच में ही होगा, राइट? अब यहां से हमारा एलिगेशन का फॉर्मेट आता है. अब एलिगेशन क्या कहता है कि इफ आई एक्सटेंड दिस पार्ट, सो आई कैन राइट द वैल्यूज x इंटू n प्लस x इंटू m should be equal to n into W1 plus m into W2. So I'll shift n towards one side and m towards other side. So तो ऐसे करते हैं, ऐसे मूवमेंट लेते हैं. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो गया? I can take n common from this one. This value is nothing but x minus W1 should be equal to, let's take m common from this one. This is but W2 minus x. So I can find out the ratio between n and m here. That's nothing but w2 minus x divided by x minus w1. So this is the format of allegation. Now allegation का process क्या है? Allegation क्या है? Basically ये समझिए. Allegation is to find out in what proportion two or more elements are available. राइट सो उसके लिए हम लोग क्या क्या यूज कर रहे हैं? हम लोग इंडिविजुअल एवरेज वेट्स यूज कर रहे हैं और द एवरेज वेट हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं. तो एवरेज क्या हो गया? एवरेज रेट हो गया. जहां भी रेट हो, स्पीड हो, देन आवर्स हो, देन प्राइस पर यूनिट हो, ये सारे रेट्स है. परसेंटेज हो, ये सब रेट्स है. तो ये सब वैल्यूज हम लोग यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं इन प्लेसेस पे. नाउ द सेम थिंग कैन ऑल्सो बी रिटन एज, अगर इसको ग्राफिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन में देखें तो group 1, group 2 has n people and m people. I want to find out the ratio between them. So it's dependent on their average weights w1, w2 और x here. So ये difference लेंगे और इसको diagonally opposite part में लिखेंगे. That's nothing but w2 minus x. और ये difference लेंगे, इसको diagonally opposite part में लिखेंगे. That's nothing but suppose x is greater than w1, x minus w1. अब देखो, सो ये इनका जो रेशियो है विल बी इन द सेम प्रोपोर्शन. ये देखो n बाई m इज इक्वल टू w2 माइनस x डिवाइड बाई x माइनस w1. राइट, सो n के लिए ये पार्ट आ रहा है, m के लिए ये पार्ट आ रहा है. राइट, सो इंस्टेड ऑफ यूजिंग द फॉर्मूला के साथ प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि इफ आई फॉरगेट द फॉर्मूला इट माइट बी डिफिकल्ट फॉर मी टू वर्क ऑन. तो एक प्रोसेस ही देख लेते हैं. एक प्रोसेस पता चल जाएगा, ये डायग्राम पता चल जाएगा. अगर ये डायग्राम पता है तो इट विल बी इजी फॉर यू टू वर्क ऑन. दैट इज अ केस ऑफ एलिगेशन व्हिच यू कैन यूटिलाइज. राइट, सो एलिगेशन काफी यूजफुल है. काफी केसेस में आप एलिगेशन डायरेक्टली यूज कर सकते हैं. तो आप सीधी सी बात समझिए कि अगर कोई क्वेश्चन एवरेज का है सो उसको हम लोग एलिगेशन के थ्रू भी सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. अगर कोई एलिगेशन का क्वेश्चन है उसको हम एवरेज के थ्रू भी सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. Then you have to decide which format you have to utilize, whether you have to utilize the average part or you have to utilize the allegation part, right? Both of them are almost same thing. Only thing is allegation is more related to the number of elements, or else two different groups. If you know that you have two different groups, you can always apply the format of allegation. Right, तो चलें अब कुछ questions को देखते हैं. Let's directly move to question number 1. The average mark of 50 students in the class is 72. The average mark of boys and girls in the subject are 70 and 75 respectively. The number of boys in the class is. अब आपको ये सोचना है कि इसमें आप क्या लगाएंगे. अगर आप नॉर्मल एवरेज लगाते हैं तो इट माइट बी डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू टू वर्क आउट. बट अगर आप एलिगेशन यूज करेंगे इस केस में देन इट विल बी डेफिनेटली इजी फॉर यू टू वर्क आउट. तो अब एलिगेशन के लिए मुझे क्या पता करना है? एवरेज मार्क ऑफ 50 स्टूडेंट्स है, 72 है और इनको मैंने दो ग्रुप में डिवाइड किया था. एवरेज मार्क ऑफ बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स आर 70 एंड 75. द नंबर ऑफ बॉयज इन द क्लास. राइट, तो अब मैं इसको डायरेक्टली लिखता हूं. आई हैव सम बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स. राइट, अब इनका मुझे रेशियो चाहिए. इफ आई नो द रेशियो आई कैन डेफिनेटली फाइंड द नंबर ऑफ पीपल. So for boys, what is the rate given? What is the average mark given? Average mark for boys are nothing but 70. Average mark for girls are nothing but 75. And what is the overall average? Overall average is number 72. So I'll apply the format of allegation. I'll subtract these two values. That's nothing but 3 here. I'll subtract these two values. That's nothing but 2. That means boys and girls should be in the ratio of 3:2, right? So I'll get a relation boys and girls are in the ratio of 3:2. So total people are how much? Total are nothing but 50. I have to divide this in two parts in the ratio of 3:2. So what's my representation? I'll have 30 boys and 20 girls. So my question was, how many boys are there? That means there will be altogether 30 boys. Simple, easy format, easy process है, directly utilize कर सकते हैं. बार बार कैलकुलेट करने के बदले एलिगेशन का सहारा लीजिए. एलिगेशन से it will be very easy for you to work on these kind of questions. Right. अब ये देखा जाए, द एवरेज एज ऑफ 14 girls and their teacher is 15. The teacher's age is excluded and the average reduced by 1. What is the teacher's age? यहाँ पे भी आप डायरेक्टली एलिगेशन लगा सकते हैं. सो क्या मेरे पास दो ग्रुप्स क्या है, गर्ल्स हो गए और टीचर हो गया, राइट. सो गर्ल्स कितने हैं, 14 गर्ल्स हैं, टीचर एक है. दैट मीन्स they are in the ratio 14:1, right? Now it's given the average of these people are nothing but 15, right? So this is with 15, and it's given if teacher is excluded, that means the average age of average age of these 14 people, or 14 girls, will be nothing but one lesser than this. That means it's 14 itself, right? And let's say this is x here. So if I'll subtract this value and if I'll subtract this value, it should be in the ratio of 14:1, right? Identify करो, यहाँ पे जो दिया हुआ है मेरा girl and teacher का ratio is 14:1, right? So that ratio should also be maintained here. तो 14 है and this is 15. The difference is 1, right? So that means यहाँ पे जो वैल्यू है and 15, the difference of these two should be equal to 14. So what is the value available here? X minus 15 should be equal to 14. That means x value will be how much? X value is how much? Is nothing but 15 plus 14 now. That's nothing but 29. This value is nothing but 29, right? So that means teacher's age is nothing but 29 in this case, right? Directly utilize कर सकते हो, कोई झंझट नहीं है. एलिगेशन लगाइए और आप कर सकते हैं. द सेकेंड थिंग which you can utilize here is identify. My condition is, I'll just give you one example. Suppose there are 5 people, or let's say 4 people are there with averages 15. So let's assume 15, 15, 15 and 15 is the age, right? My condition is if I'll remove this person, my new average becomes 14. इसका मतलब क्या है, if I'll hide this, suppose इसको hide कर दे रहे हैं, if I'm hiding this, after this the new average is 14. That means every value is minus 1 now. Then only I can say every value is 14, 14 and 14. That's why my value is nothing but 14. तो अगर मुझे बैलेंस करना है, ये यहाँ पे एरर हो रहा है -3, इसका मतलब यहाँ पे एरर ये होना चाहिए +3. दैट मीन्स 15 + 3, or else we can say 18 should be the age of this person, right? That is the balancing format here. अब ये सोचो 14 students are there, right? So 1 to 14 girls are there, and a teacher is there, right? So a teacher is there and their average is nothing but 15. So I'm assuming each and every value is nothing but 15 here. So teacher's age is also 15, I've assumed, right? Now my condition is the overall average is reduced by 1. That means I should reduce each and every value by 1 on this side, right? I'm reducing each and every value by 1. So कितना reduction हुआ? It's somewhere -14 on this side because 14 people are there. If -14 is my reduction, that means I should balance this one on this side. +14 will be the value. 50 + 14, 29 will be the value here, right? Calculate करने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप mental calculation कर सकते हो. 14 people, my reduction on an average is -1. That means -14 is the error, which I'll add to the old average. Remember, old average plus the error is nothing but the new value, right? So that's my representation in this case. So मेरा value यहाँ हो जाएगा 29. So I can directly utilize. So you have two methods. Either you apply alligation. If you're not applying alligation, you can also do a mental calculation in this case. Directly mentally calculate करें, you can always identify what can be the possible answer there. Right. तो चलिए अब next question को देखते हैं. There are 30 students in a class. The average age of first 10 is 12.5. The average age of the remaining 20 students is 13.1. What is the average age? तो ये weighted mean का question हो गया, right? So weighted mean का question क्या हो गया? Here it's given I have two groups, group 1, group 2. Group 1 has 10 people and group 2 has 20 people. The average here is 12.5 and here the value is 13.1, right? So I'll add these two values. Let's add these two values here. So if we'll take this one, the value is about 125, and this part is how much? It's nothing but 262. Let's add, that is a total weight in this case. So 783, right? So 387 is the value. Now I have to divide. So my weighted mean is what? It's nothing but n into, remember, n into w1 plus m into w2 divided by n plus m is the weighted mean, right? So summation is 387. I am dividing it by how many people are there? 30 people are there. So my value is how much? Let's try to calculate. So 1 times 2 times 9 times 12.9 will be the value here, right? So 12.9 is the value. तो ये तो हो गया, हम लोगों ने वेटेड मीन लगाया. अब वेटेड मीन लगाया हम लोगों ने, तो वी कैन डेफिनेटली अप्लाई एलिगेशन. आइडेंटिफाई weighted mean is related to allegation is related to weighted mean is related to average, that means average is related to allegation, right? So तीनों co-related. अब allegation कैसे यूज करेंगे इस केस में? मेरा कंडीशन क्या है कि हाउ मेनी पीपल आर देयर? माय नंबर ऑफ पीपल आर 30. देयर इन द रेशियो 1:2. So group 1 has 10 people, group 2 has, so I'll mark this thing, group 2 has 20 people, that means they are in the ratio 1:2, right? इस ग्रुप का एवरेज क्या है? इस ग्रुप का एवरेज जो है दसिंग में 12.5 और इस ग्रुप का है 13.1. I want a value here in such a format so that this difference and this difference should be in the ratio of 1:2. What does that mean? I'm talking about the difference between these 2 points, and I'm dividing this in 2 parts in the ratio of 1:2. So 12.5 and 13.1 के बीच का difference क्या है? Difference is nothing but 0.6. So now I have to divide 0.6 in 2 parts so that they are in the ratio of 1:2. That means 0.2 on this side and 0.4 on this side, where this value is lesser than 13.1 or is greater than 12.5. So how much lesser than 13.1? 0.2 lesser than 13.1. That means the value is how much? 13.1 minus 0.2, that's something but 12.9. My value is 12.9 here. Or is 12.5 plus something? How much is that? 0.4. So 12.5 plus 4 is 12.9. Any value is nothing but 12.9 here, right? So बहुत सिंपल सा प्रोसेस है, बहुत आसान से आप बैलेंस कर सकते हो. एक बार आपको बैलेंस करना समझ में आ गया तो एवरेज में कोई दिक्कत नहीं आएगी, आप डायरेक्टली कैलकुलेट कर सकते हो, राइट? 5 years ago the average age of P and Q were 25. So 5 years back the average age of P and Q were 25. That means present average is how much? For P and Q is nothing but 30. Present average is nothing but 30 here. So if it's 30, that means the total of these will be how much? Total is nothing but 30 into 2 or else 60. Now second condition is nothing but the average age of PQR. So PQ and R, the average age is 25. That means the total of PQR is nothing but 25 into 3. That is 1 second.
Cancel, sir.
Cancel.
Escape. Yeah. Open this.
Identities.
Yes. Focus. Photo. Average.
coming back to the question, sorry for the inconvenience. So as we have seen, just a second, correct. So 5 years ago, as we have seen, the average of P and Q was nothing but 25. That means presently P and Q's average is nothing but 30. So the total of P and Q now is nothing but 60. That's the first case given. Let's talk about the second case. Second case is nothing but presently P, Q and R's average is nothing but 25. So total of P, Q and R now is nothing but 75, which is nothing but 25 into 3, right? That's the second scenario. So if we'll take down the difference between them, so presently, so P plus Q plus R is equal to 75 and P plus Q is nothing but 60. That represents R value presently is nothing but 15. So 5 years later, R value is nothing but 15 plus 5. That's nothing but 20, right? So that value is nothing but 20 in this case, right? So that's the first case we are calculating. Second thing is identify presently the average of P, Q and R is how much? Sorry, P and Q is nothing but average of P and Q is nothing but 30. That means I'm assuming this is 30 and this is 30, right? Suppose I'll add R also and that value is suppose 30. That means my average is supposed to be 30. But what is my condition given? My new average is 25. That means how much is the value? Minus 5 and minus 5. So now I'm not excluding the person. That means for R, my error is nothing but this part. That means the value of R is supposed to be how much? It's 30 minus 15. Identify, I'm balancing this part here. Because now since I have added R, due to this there is a reduction. Previously we have removed, due to this there was a change. So that's why I was balancing on this side. But now I am balancing the same side here. So 30 minus 15, that means R's value is 15 here, right? Plus 5 is the value after 5 years. That's nothing but 20. So value can be nothing but 20. So that's the second thing which you can do, right? Apart from the normal calculation. You can directly identify assuming 30, 30, 30. So my average should be 30, but I want the average is 25 only. That means I have to reduce each value by 5. But can you reduce each value by 5? You cannot reduce because summation of P and Q is fixed. That is 60 here. So whatever you are balancing, that is on the R part. So you have to reduce all the values from R. So R you assume is 30. 5 is repeated 3 times, right? So subtracting, that means the value is 15 in this case. So present age of R is 15. That represents 5 years later, it will be nothing but 20. Next one, the average of 20 numbers is 15 and the average of first 5 is 12. The average of rest is same thing. Average of 20 numbers. So average is 15, the average of first 5. So first 5 and the remaining 15. That means the numbers are in the ratio of 1:3, right? So the average of the complete is 15 and the average of first 5 is 12. So this is 12 here, this is 15. I want here a value in such a format so that this difference should be in the ratio of 1:3. So 15 minus 12 is already 3. That means here my difference is supposed to be 1 and this value x should be greater than 15. So how much is x now? X value is 15 plus 1. My value is supposed to be 16, right? So direct method, right? So my value is nothing but 16 in this case. So अब देख रहे हैं मैक्सिमम टाइम एलिगेशन से कितने आसानी से ये सारी क्वेश्चंस बन जाते हैं. You have to decide which format you have to utilize in the examination. The average age of 40 students in the class is 15 years when 10 new, so 40 are there and 10 new are added. The average increased by 0.2, right? So now average age of 40 students in the class is 15 years. So these are 15 and now new averaging but 15.2, right? I want a value here. so that I can work on, right? So my difference here is nothing but 0.2. That's a condition given, and I want a difference here, so that they should be in the ratio of 4:1. So 1 represents 0.2. That means this represents how much? 0.8. So 0.8. So 0.8 more than 15.2. So 0.8 more than 15.2 is how much? My value is supposed to be 16, right? So sixth question, my answer is nothing but 16 here directly, right? So you can directly utilize these kind of things, right? So previous class contest question, the winner is Vikas. Congratulations, Vikas. My answer here is nothing but 1, because we can take the value a plus b whole cube as a cube plus 3ab into a plus b cube, which is in this case will be equal to 1. So I can check, right? That's my representation. Now it's the time for the contest question. So as you know, the rule of the contest question, it's nothing but a question which has a time limit of 1 minute. The benefits, or the condition is the one who solve it fastest will get a benefit of an atom session. And now what is an atom session? Atom session is nothing but a doubt clearance session where your doubts will be cleared within 20 minutes of the insertion, or else whenever you will send your doubts within 20 minutes it will be done, right? So let's move to the contest question now. Right. Seconds remaining. Okay, time up. Let's move to the next question now. The average of 100 numbers is 44. The average of these 100 numbers and 4 other new number is 50. Then the average of 4 new numbers. क्या logic है? Same logic, right? Allegation, 100 numbers. So let's talk about 100 numbers here. 100 numbers, and then I have added 4 more numbers, right? That means they are in the ratio of 25:1, right? The average of these 100 numbers is 44, and sorry, the average of these numbers is 44. I'll erase the values for the time being, right? So let's work on average of these 100 numbers is 44, and when new numbers are added is something but 50, right? So my increment is how much? My increment here is nothing but 6, and I want the increments in terms of 25:1. So now I'll take 25. See, 6 represents 1, then 25 represents how much? I have to identify. So 25 into 6 will be the value. So 25 into 6 is how much? My value is nothing but 150, right? So 150. So this value should be 150 more than 50. That means the value now is nothing but 200. My value is supposed to be 200. Okay, so if you're getting the things, please respond me back, or else if you have any doubts, please respond me back. Then we'll move to the next question now. The average monthly expenditure of a family is 2200. During the first 3 months, it's 2550. During the next 4 months, and during next 4 months, and is number 3120. During the last 5 months, okay, just a second, there is something missing. The average monthly expenditure of a family is 2200. During first 3 sorry, my fault. So first 3 months is number 2200. So it's given the average expenditure is nothing but 2200 for the first 3 months, right? Then it's nothing but 3120 during the last 5, sorry, and I'll mark 2550 during the next 4 months. So 2550 for the next 4 months, right? If the total saving during the year was 1260, what was the average monthly income? Right, so first thing is I have to find out the average monthly expenditure. So let's try to identify the average monthly expenditure here. Now here let's try to find out the average monthly expenditure. So to find out the average monthly expenditure, what's my relation here? It's nothing but 2200 is multiplied with 3 plus 2550 is multiplied with 4 plus 3120 is multiplied with 5. Now this complete value is divided by 12, right? That's my representation here. So let's take the values. It's number 6600 here. Let's multiply this one. So this number 0, 0, right, 2, and right. So 10200 is this part here and here. So 15600. Let's add these values here, if and by 12 is the format, right? So let's add these values here. So it's number 0, 0. Now this is 4, right? Then again it's nothing but 2 and 2. 22400 I have to divide by 12, right? So let's divide by 12 and let's see how much is the value. So let's cross check it again. So let's cross check it again whether we got the correct values or not. So 2200 into 3 is my first, that's what 6600. Then 2550 into 4, 10200. Then 3120 is multiplied with 5, 15600. I have to divide by 12, right? So let's divide by 12 here. So if we'll divide by 12, what are the values we are getting? Let's take the values. So approximately, now this is the first case, right? So we are dealing with this, and then it's given that the total saving is nothing but 1260. Now first thing is total saving is nothing but 1260 here. So the average saving per month is how much? It's about 1260 divided by 12, right? That means it's about 105. 105 is the average saving here. So average saving is 105, and let's find out this part. The problem here is the number is not divisible by 3. So let's try to check. So let's divide by 4 here for the time being. So that is 3 times. Then here 5 times 600. And if we'll divide by 3 here, so 1 times, 8 times, then again 8 times, 8 times. That's my condition here. So it should be somewhere around, if we'll subtract 10, that means we are not getting the thing. Okay, let's cross check whether we have done some mistake or not, because my number of months is in but 3, 4, 7, 5, 12, right? That's correct here. So the average monthly expenditure of the family is 2200 during the first 3. That's all right. Then 2550 during the next 4 months. Okay, and 1220 during the last 5. Total saving during the year is nothing but, so average saving is nothing but 105, which I have already identified. Now let's try to check in this case. So here my condition possible is 6600. That's all right. Let's try to multiply this value again. So 25 into 4, 10200 is all right, and the value is 3120. So 3120. Okay, now that's a okay, let's check. So it's 0, it's nothing but 10, correct. So it's nothing but 6 and 15. No, that's correct. Right, so that means the value is 6600 plus 10200, 156. Let's add it again. So let's check. So 0, 0 and correct. Okay, no, the fault we have made at this point, that's why we are not getting the thing. So let's add the values here. So sometimes there could be a calculation mistake, so let's try to avoid this. Okay, let's check whether we have done a mistake or not. So 6 plus 6, 12 plus 2 is 14. Okay, that's all right. Then the value is nothing but 5 plus 6 is 11 plus 1, it's 12. That's correct. Right, so here it's nothing but 2. Okay, no, that's correct. Okay, so my average is somewhere around this. Let's try to find out with other methods, because according to this, if I'm taking these values, I'm not getting the value here, right? So let's try to check it. Let's try to check it once again. Okay, no, we have done some mistake here. Let's take 6600, that's correct. 10200 and 156. I'll do one thing, I'll just go by the basic calculation here. 10200, 15600 and 6600. I think some calculation mistake we are doing, because it's in a direct line, so it might create a problem here. So let's check. So it's something but 324. My fault. So 324, right, correct. So if it's 324, let's check the values here. So let's divide it by 12. So if we'll divide by 12, it's completely divisible by 12 because it's divisible by 3 as well as 4. So let's try to identify how much is the value here. So 2 times, right, 8, 7 times, 00 will be the value, and so this is my overall expenditure here. So this is my overall expenditure here, and my saving is about 105. So it's about, now the value is about 2805. My fault. So sometimes a slight calculation mistake creates a confusion. So it was my fault. The value is supposed to be 32400 by 12. Right. So now my value is going to be 2805 will be the value possible here. Correct. Next one, question number 9. Okay, now in the next one, in the previous question, definitely it was difficult to work on any of the basic observation, because if you're working on the observation, if I'll apply allegation here, you cannot apply allegation because 3 terms are there. If I would have 2 terms, I can definitely utilize this, but I had 3 different sectors are there, so I have to apply the weighted mean format there. or else assume a very basic average for the time being, that is somewhere in between the numbers. So what could have been done in this case, if I'm going for this part, let's do one thing. My value is something about 2200, right? So I'll consider 2200, 2200, then again I have 2200, then I'm using 3120, 3120 and 3120 here, which is repeated 5 times, right? Let's mark 5 times here, and it's saying but 2550 is repeated 4 times, right? So what I'm doing is I'm assuming the average as 3000 for the time being, right? Let's assume 3000 as the value. So here my error is how much? My error is about minus 800, which is repeated 3 times. Here in this case 120 plus 120, which is repeated 5 times. That means 6000 is the error here. And in this case my error is supposed to be how much? Minus 450, which is repeated 4 times. That means minus 1800, right? So I'll come back to this one. Let's write it here. So my errors here is nothing but minus 800 is repeated 3 times, so minus 2400, right? Then minus 1800, and then plus the value is nothing but 6000. So let's add these values here. So 1800 plus 2400 is how much? 42. So from this I'll subtract 42, remaining is nothing but 1800, which I have to divide this in 12 equal parts. So if we'll divide this in 12 equal parts, then how much is my value? Let's try to identify. So what we have done, we have taken 3000 as a value. So here minus 800, which is repeated 3 times, so 2400 is the error here. Then 3120, that means 120 is repeated 5 times. So 120 is repeated 5 times is nothing but 6000 is the value here. And then the next one is nothing but 2550, that means minus 450 is repeated 5 times, sorry 4 times here. So minus 1800 is my value here. So if we'll take minus 1800, so I'll get some kind of error in this case. So what is the error I'm getting? So if we'll add these values, that's nothing but 42. So 60 minus 42 is nothing but 1800. I'll divide this in 12 equal parts, which will be the overall expenditure in this case. Then I can utilize the value, right? But I would definitely suggest go by the basic calculation here, because a lot of numbers are there. If a lot of numbers are there, it's better not to use some other methods here. The average of 6 observations is 45.5. If one new observation is added to the previous observation, then the new average becomes 47. The new observation. So here same thing I can do. 6 terms are there. I'm adding one more term. So average for these are nothing but 45.5, and if I'll add one more, then the new average becomes 47. So new average is 47 here. So I'll take this difference here. My difference is how much? My difference is nothing but 45.5 and 47, right? So 1.5 is the value here. That means this side the value is nothing but 6 times of 1.5, right? That's nothing but 9 in this case. So if we'll add 9 to 47, my value is nothing but 56. This value has to be 56 in this case, right? So value is nothing but 56 here. Now next one, the present average age of a family of 4 members is 36 years. If the present age of the youngest member of the family is 12 years, the average age of the family at the birth of the youngest member was. So same thing, I'll go by the basic calculation. 36 into 4 is nothing but let's multiply these values. So 144 is the total age presently, right? And it's given that if the present age of the youngest member is 12, that means I'm talking about 12 years back. So 12 years back, how much I have to reduce? I have to reduce 12 for every person and 4 people are there. That means 48 is the figure I have to reduce from this. If I'll reduce 48 from this, my figure is how much? That's about 96. So for these 3 people, it was supposed to be nothing but 96. So average at that time is nothing but 96 by 3. That's nothing but 32 years. My value is supposed to be 32 years in this case. Right? So it has to be 32 years in this case. My value will be 32 years. Right? So now you can identify in maximum cases we have applied the format of allegation. You can always apply allegation format to work on the questions. So what was the summary of the class? As we have seen, we have worked on the basics of average. If you are working on the basics of average, what are the things we have worked on? We have worked on the format, which is nothing but the basic average, then weighted mean, and the allegation part. These are the few things which you need to keep in mind when you are working on the average part. So thanks for joining us. I hope you would have liked the class. If you have liked, please share this video with your friends so that your friends can also get benefited. Now it's the CPP time, which is nothing but class practice pack time. So in this CPP, you'll get at least, also you'll get 10 best questions from the topic which we have discussed today, and it is unlocked and available for those who are our passport members. So those who are not the passport members, please subscribe to the passport and get benefited with the CPP questions. So it will be unlocked for non-passport member. It's locked now, right? So subscribe to the passport, it will be unlocked. You know what is the benefit of the passport? You will get access of all the tests for the entire year. Then you'll get a lot of practice question papers in the passport, and a bonus contents will be there in the passport, right? So now passport member, start solving the CPP question right now. All the best. Thank you.